Welcome back to another episode in the Aquila 32 Sport Owner's Experience series. In this video, we're going to cover some very common how-to tasks on the Raymarine, including waypoint time prediction, removing data points, and changing map graphics to something more meaningful. We're also going to cover some how-to tasks on the boat, including doing a pump out, joystick course lock and navigation, and also wiper operation. Let's get started. Alright, so it's pump out time. Pump out location, front of the boat. First thing you got to do is he has to turn on the pump. Going to build up pressure in this little doodad right here. Got to open up another valve there, right?
Yeah, open up this valve.
And then
this should go right in. And then
tight.
it sure is.
Why is it just... There you go.
There we go.
Alright, so that has it going. Keep pressure on that to keep the poop inside the boat or the tube, right?
Yep.
All the bad stuff in there belongs to my wife. I'm not really just saying, gotta be.
Got to. Let's turn it sideways just a little bit and see if we can.
Alright.
There we go.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, and then you just pull it out?
Pull it out and just dip it in the river. And that'll suck up some water and clean out the hose. And
Is it sucking?
yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is a Raymarine lesson, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about planning things and how far things are away. We had a hard time just figuring it out on our own, so anyway, here's what you got. Right now we're on a route going back home, and we wanted to, okay, how far is it to go from point A to point B, that kind of thing. So up here on the menu, there, we go into navigation and take a look at your route plan. All right, so here's your route plan, but you got to remember when you select a route plan, you got to make sure you're going the right way. See here, you have a reverse button over here. You can reverse the route, which we did. We were like, how come this thing is appearing to be so far away and getting worse? Because we had our route reversed. Now we've gone ahead and we've got our route going in the right direction. And you can also tell this on the screen by looking here. See these little arrows? There's a little arrow along here. So there's an arrow right there. Another arrow right there, indicating which direction all of the calculations are based on. So if I go back here we are, and take a look again at our route, navigation point, boom, route plan. Here we are. We've already passed these points, and so all this is clear. As we scroll up, we can actually see how far we are from each next point. So this menu we can move around. So let's take a look and see what we're looking at here. So on this route, our next point is this blue X. And this changes every time you hit a waypoint, and I'll show you in just a minute. That blue X will move to here as we have exceeded this point. And you don't have to hit the point exactly. You can be over here and just go by the point. Once it realizes you've gone by the point, this goes back to a red X, and then this changes into the blue X, if you will, as your next point. So right now we're 3 minutes, 3 seconds away from this point right here. Now, if I want to know how long it's going to take us to get through all the way through, our route is going to take us, this gets us back home at 3 hours and 38 minutes from right now. So you can plan bridge openings step at a time. So here, we're about to go over this other point here in, here we are. Here we go. In 1 minute and 12 seconds. So let's take a look at what happens right here when that happens. So, okay, so we're getting really close to this point now. We have 32 seconds left. Probably less than that because this thing recalculates every so often. But here we are. We've got our blue X. We're about to approach it. 23 seconds now. And it just changed. So now, as I blow this back up, this is now a red X. You won't see it until the boat goes past it. But now we have a new blue X, and we're going to be there in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So one thing also, plan through, get all of these red X's that go everywhere. There's maybe too many sometimes, right? So what I've done is I've gone along each part of this thing, and I've said, okay, like for example, do I really need this X here that goes between these 2 points, considering this is a straight line? So what I do is I want to remove this X so I have less points to look at. I select it here, and I go to more options, delete it, yes, and now that's gone. So it's one less point to look at. Likewise, I can probably get rid of this point here. Boom. More options, delete, yes. Alright, so now this point's gone. Gone. Now we have this point here. Navigation, new plan. You notice how we got this point named. So if I wanted to say Alligator River, so right here, I'm going to select this point right here. And when I select this point, it goes to the point on my list. So here, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to edit the waypoint. And there's the old name. I'm going to call this Alligator River. Now when I save this, now it's called Alligator River. So let's go ahead and go back to this point here. I'll exit out of that. When I take a look, and I want to see on my route plan, navigation, route plan, and I'm looking at all these points. There's Bellhaven, that's where we started. Now I'm going to look here, see all these names, they don't make any sense because they're automatically named. Where's the Alligator River? There it is right there. Now we can see on here that the Alligator River is an hour and 18 minutes away. So you can name these waypoints to something meaningful to you that are points of interest, or maybe it's a bridge. And you can add points in here as well. You can add a waypoint. So this gives you very handy things, and it's safe, and that way you can always go back to it. So my wife pointed out something to me that's actually pretty handy too. I guess, and this is the first time I'm going through it with you. She said you can also change the symbol here so it means something more to you. So take a look at this. Now we have all these points that we can actually change it to that mean something more. So maybe I don't know what a good river symbol might be, but let's say that it's a diver down. It's not very good probably, but let's make it a different color. Let's make it a sailboat. There it is. And I go ahead and it's resave. Go here like this. Now, when we get up to the Alligator River, where was it? There it is up there. So there's your point. And I probably have too many points in here, right? So let's make this thing stand out even more. Let's get rid of this point right here. More options. Leave, yes. And here. More options. Leave, yes. Looks like there's an X hidden behind here too. No, it's not here. Okay, so as we make this thing smaller, now this is standing out more. You can see this new symbol. We know it has a name. Maybe it's a bridge. We can do the bridge the same way. Let's get another learning lesson. This time, let's get a learning lesson on joystick. All right, so right now, don't have autopilot. All we have is the ability to lock this thing on course. So right now our boat is kind of turning and we're a little bit off. And I want to go ahead and turn this thing, say 10 degrees to the right and lock on that course. So over here you can see up the top that if I twist this thing this way, it's going to give me 10 degrees this way. Or, 10 degrees this way or 10 degrees to the left based upon a twist. So I'm going to go ahead and turn a twist here. Boom. Here's our 10 degrees. And now this boat is going to change course. There it is. And let's say that we go too far with it. You can always just twist it back the other way, or you can bump the stick to get 1 degree each way. So if I bump it this way, you'll hear it bump. Get a light indicator. Boom, we're going this way. Boom, we're going this way. So, what if, oh my gosh, we didn't see it and we have an obstacle up here, but we don't. Let's say that we had an obstacle up here. So, to clear this, you have two ways. You can either press this again, like this. Now it's off. Hit this indicator here. You're no longer on the track, the course tracking. Push it back, and now we're back on track again. Got all those indicators to show you that. Right, so now, if I want to go ahead and I catch it as an emergency and I go, oh my gosh, what do I do? There's nothing that says you can't go ahead and grab the wheel. So in this case here, I can go ahead and release this just by simply grabbing this wheel and turning the boat. So if I grab it, it's stiff. Now, this light has gone off. You have your indicator as well. So now let's go ahead and turn it back on. Boom, we've got our course and we're done. So you can lock it on course. So what is this locking onto? What it's locking onto is your compass heading. So this is looking at your magnetic compass heading, and it's going to maintain this course. Now because it is a magnetic compass heading, what you're going to find on your courses, and you'll see it here. See how our lines back there, they actually turn, and this thing tracks this way. It's like hunting for that course. It's not a bad hunt, but it is a hunt. So you'll see this thing kind of twisting and turning when you get out there. Let's see if we can get this thing up so that you can see this course. See it up there how it turns and twists? So don't be afraid whenever you see this thing kind of getting a little bit off. And here we have course, it's about to change. Alright? So if I zoom this in, you can zoom it two ways. You can zoom it this way, or you can zoom with your hands. So in this case here we are. We're coming off course. I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a twist. It looks like 20, so it is twisted it two times to give me 20 degrees to get back on course. Let's see where this thing's going to settle in. And we need a little bit more, so I'm going to give it another 10 degrees. To adjust now. Let's give it another 10 degrees. And you can see it. Watch the bow. The bow's going to actually be making this turn. There it is. You can see that big old lump out there. It's moving. So here, how are we doing? Maybe another 10 degrees. Here it is. You see this up here? You got your green marker. Up here, we should see our green marker. Right over there, it's coming. So go ahead and zoom in on this thing. See it right there. Oops, got my finger stiff. There's our green marker. Actually, that's going to be a chin marker for mileage. But you can see all that, and look, it's going off screen. So how do we get this boat centered back up? Right up here is going to center the boat back up on the screen. There it is. And now we're back on course. So when we get going slower, I'm going to show you how to navigate with this and what to do with this, because this works in combination. Something that can be aggravating is whenever you get up and your seats are down like this instead of up, sometimes your leg wants to brush up against these controls here. And more often than not, I'll look up and I'll see this windshield wiper is working on me. I'm like, what happened? So if you hold this up here, if you hold this at the top, that gives you a window wash. But this up and down button here will turn on and off the windshield wiper, but doing different things. So for example, the first one up gives me like this 2-bar thing, and it locks in place. There's flashes that goes in. So that's constant. Alright? So what happens whenever I go up? So I go up one. Now I have all 3 going, and it's going really fast. Right? Go up one more. Stays in that position. So let's try down. Down 1, close it down. Down 2. It gives you this 1 dot here. So what is that doing? What that's going to give you is your intermittent wiper. So if I press it down again, does it go off? No, it doesn't. It goes back to that. Maybe it's a faster or slower wipe. It's a signal. More down. Now it's in that first position. We haven't seen that before. It's going to be periodic. There it is, but it's a long time. Down 1 more. That's as far as it goes. So how do we turn this thing off? The way you turn it off is you hold this down for a couple seconds. 1. There it is. Long push is going to turn that windshield wiper on. I want to address the subject of rooster tails on the Aquila 32. You're going to get comments either from passengers on the boat or from people who see your boat on the water about your rooster tails. Everyone will tell you it's a trim problem, but it isn't. On the Aquila, you always want your motors fully trimmed down. Even in this condition, the rooster tails are impressive, maybe not in a good way. On a cat, there's a lot of boat to displace, and the slower you go, the bigger the rooster tail. Here are a couple of examples at different speeds. I've talked to Aquila on this, and they all said that this is normal and there's no adjustment to correct it. The really bad thing about it when you're slower is that the entire swim platform and back of the seats will constantly be wet. If there's a breeze, then any passengers in the rear seat will also fall victim to some spray. Well, that does it for another Owner Experience episode. I hope these how-to items are helpful when you're getting to know your Aquila 32. Stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya!